JJ the CPA here. Hope you're doing well. So this video is put together for those that are unfortunately experiencing the recovery from a natural disaster. I specifically am putting this video together for my wonderful friend Robert, who owns Robert of Philadelphia Salons, actually down in Florida, with 3 different salon locations. And I'm also putting this together for he and his team, his employees, his friends, all down in the Naples, Florida area. But those that are in any natural disaster, this same information is going to help you just the same, whether you're in Naples or Florida or anywhere else, whether it's a disaster now or in the future or even in the past that has been in essence declared as such. So first thing to note here is that you can just go in the body of this video and get a link to the loans that I'm getting ready to talk about. So you don't even have to listen to the rest of this video because it'll be a little bit more personal and directed towards the Robert of Philadelphia Salons family. But what I do want you to note is that we've got really 3 primary different kinds of loans that you can look at that are going to cover homeowners and their principal residence in terms of the actual home. And then there's another loan that's for personal property, things that are inside the house, which is available to renters as well as homeowners. There's also a loan for small businesses that have gotten physical injury to their business. And then there's also the economic injury disaster loan that is available to help small businesses to meet their ongoing obligations, their operating expenses. None of this is related to COVID or the pandemic. This is all related to those that are having natural disasters. So again, go to the link in the body of this video to get all the details directly from the SBA. They'll give you all the terms. So if you don't have time to now listen to the rest of the video, best of luck to you, whoever else is listening, and hopefully you'll get the relief that you need potentially from these loans. So on a personal side, Robert, I saw your video today that you posted on your Facebook page, and hope you're doing well.
Hi everyone, hopefully you can see me here okay. I finally found a place that has an internet connection so I can give you an update and see if you can help us out. There's very little cell service and I haven't been able to reach everyone. I'm trying to get a hold of everybody on our team to make sure that they're safe. Everybody in the ROP family to make sure that they're okay. We can't communicate real well right now. Power's out in most of the area, and obviously there's no cell reception. And I found one spot that has an internet connection at seat to table, but it is an absolute zoo here. I parked a couple miles down the road and walked here to be able to get this connection so I could let you know that I have spoken to about 15 of our team, or not spoken to, been able to get a text message through to about 15 of our team to know that they're safe and well. I know one person lost his place. It was flooded out. I know there were a lot of people along the beach that lost their homes. The salons are intact. They don't have power right now, and as soon as they do, we'll let you know. So if anybody who needs to charge the phone or get some AC or coffee or just a place to be, we'll open those up as soon as I know that. So stay tuned here. If there's anything you need or a family member needs, if you want to message us here, we'll do the best we can to get messages based on what limited availability we have of the internet. That's all we have for right now. We'll keep you updated next chance we get. Praying for all of you. Thanks for checking in, and thanks for your love and prayers. Bye.
Glad to hear that the salons are intact. We're not able to communicate because, as you said in the video, you don't have any cell service. You had to walk, I think you said 2 miles a ways to get to a location just to record your message to your employees and get it up on Facebook to get word to them. So what I want you to note here, brother, is that as soon as you can visit, let's visit. Robert is a great friend and wonderful supporter of my YouTube channel. and is also one of my private clients. So with that being said, for your team, those that are with the ROP family, hope you're doing well as possible. The things that I'm getting ready to share with you, these are all loans. There's not any grants, at least at this time, that I'm aware of. And related to that, this is the relief that's from the SBA, the Small Business Administration. And believe it or not, it's actually also to help individuals that aren't business owners, such as homeowners or renters. So what I'd like to do is just walk you through the website. Again, you could just go to the website, but I'm just going to walk you through a few key things on the website on where you would go to put application in. But the key here is ensure that your area has been declared the disaster area. We know it will be. So I'm recording this late in the evening on September 29th. So this is probably the day of your first day of recovery. With that being said, most likely very soon, your area will be, in essence, declared a disaster area, but you want to wait until your area has been declared as such to then apply. And each one of these, when you look at it, would require a separate application. So when you go through, pick the one that makes sense and matches your needs, apply for it. But know this, that loan that you're going to apply for on that specific need is then for that specific purpose. You will need to apply for the different kinds of loans that may also apply to you. So Robert, for you, we'll be working together, I'm sure, on this, but related to your business with physical injury, there's a specific loan related to that for the economic injury disaster loan, which would be to assist with your ongoing expenses, operating expenses. That would be a separate application as well. And then if you wanted to apply for any of the others, again, everybody gets it. You're just going to be applying for these things separately. I would recommend that you apply as soon as your area is declared a disaster area for obvious reasons. I don't know that the SBA is going to run out of money. Never heard of such a thing. But nonetheless, first loan application in your area would be helpful. Also note, and I'm going to put a link specifically to those that are in Florida, Southern Florida, Naples, Florida. Your local SBA office is also key for you to help you through these, and whether you're a small business or not, but that SBA office is there to help. So the SBA gets 1 million stars out of 5. So if there was a 5-star rating, they'd get 1 million, because this organization, this arm of the government, has done a phenomenal job in quickly reacting. So let's walk through the web page, if you will, and I'll just show you some key things. So again, you have a link to this right on the SBA.gov website under disaster relief. And these are loans that are available through the SBA. Big note here is that this is no longer related to the coronavirus or the pandemic. This is loans related to those that are unfortunately surviving natural disasters in areas that have been declared as such. So on this page, basically, we're going to just walk down that this is where you're going to apply for the disaster assistance. Now, before you apply, be sure that your area has been declared as a disaster area. We're going to circle back to that. It does take a few days for the government to declare it and everybody to catch up with it. These loans are basically to cover losses not covered by insurance or funding from FEMA for both business and personal purposes. For businesses, it's for operating costs, but there is loans here related to needs for the physical loan damages needs. So I'm going to circle back to that, but there's also then loans for mitigation, which is in essence how to prepare for the next disaster, which hopefully won't happen again. But They also have then the economic injury disaster loan. Many think that came into existence because of the pandemic, and that's not the case. The economic injury disaster loan, the EIDL, has been around for a long time. It was just expanded to those related to the COVID. So it's no longer available related to COVID or the pandemic. What this is for those that are recovering from a natural disaster, like we're seeing down in Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia, and other states. So with this, step one, check your disaster declaration. Step two, you would apply for the loan. And then step three, you will just, with your login, be checking on your loan status. Now, if I click here, this is going to walk us through what we just talked about here. So the type of loans, that home and personal property loan. So I'm going to click on that for the detail. So for this is up to $200,000 to replace or repair the primary residence. The loan may not be used to upgrade the home unless required by local code. You guys can read the rest of that. Renters and homeowners may borrow up to $40,000 to replace or repair personal property. So this is really the things inside the home, not the home itself. So quite awesome, really, that this is extended to even renters. So again, if you don't have renter's insurance, or your renter's insurance isn't covering everything, and for homeowners, if it's not covering everything inside, that's where these loans can come into play. Now, in terms of how do you apply, you would click there. When you're looking at the details of this loan, it is for 30 years and it is at 4%. Not sure why it wasn't on that page. For business physical disaster loans, so this is basically for in a declared disaster area, they've experienced damage to the business. They may be eligible then for this loan, and they're able to do it related to real property, which is real estate, machinery, equipment, fixtures, inventory, leasehold improvements. So with that, you can look through the eligibility and terms, click there to apply. And then the other is the economic injury disaster loan that we talked about here. Now, if you're wondering what the military reservist economic injury disaster loan is, that'd be if you had a key employee that got called up for duty, so to speak. So that's not applicable to natural disaster. But on the economic injury disaster loan, so what we see here is this is different from physical injury to property or personal property. This is for small businesses that are suffering now because of an economic injury. And therefore, what this is used for is to give the business a loan to pay its ongoing obligations, its overhead, ordinary, necessary operating expenses such as payroll. This is up to $2 million. It does depend on the amount of gross receipts that your business has. And you would apply for that. So when you go to apply for any of these loans, have your most recent tax return available with you, because there potentially is going to be information that they're asking that you want to match your tax return, meaning information you've been filing with the IRS is filing then with the U.S. government. And that's one way that the SBA is verifying identities as well. What you should expect is that under normal circumstances with these loans, the SBA will assign a representative that will be in touch with you and in essence help you continue the process of finalizing the loan if you do qualify, of course. And many times, if you really look at the history of the economic injury disaster loan procedures for major loans, then you would most likely not just get all the money all at once, all up front. Typically, the way that it normally works is that an agent is assigned, you're approved for a dollar amount, You agree to that dollar amount or less if you don't need all of that. But then as you need it, then you are given the money or loan the money by the SBA. Now, sometimes with different kinds of disasters, they just give it to you all up front. But it may very well work differently than those that got an EIDL during the pandemic and they applied and money was just automatically deposited. It may still work that way for those that have gotten into certain or specific types of natural disasters, but also you may be interacting with somebody at the SBA. So if you experienced working with the SBA throughout the pandemic, which was a big increase in the SBA's interaction with the U.S. economy and business owners, you know that they worked fast. They did a great job of bringing in extra help related to this. And so the reason I say that is that if you're finding that things aren't moving as quickly, always feel free to call the SBA. Their number's right there on their website. Also try the local SBA office. All you have to put in is SBA office and then the city that you're in or the state that you're in, and that's how you'll find your local SBA office. But they are tremendously helpful with that. So with that, personal message, wow, ROP family. So I don't know you all, obviously, but I do know Robert, and Robert's told me some wonderful stories about all of you over the last couple of years, and I know how much he just loves you guys, and just the respect that he has for you, and just sees you truly as family when we're talking about that. And so I'm the CPA for Robert of Philadelphia Salons. And so with that being said, what I'd love to coordinate is maybe a time that we could do a group Zoom when it makes sense, when you have power back. We could do a group Zoom, and for those of the Robert Philadelphia Salon family, we can troubleshoot some questions or whatever it is that you all need. So I'll coordinate that with Robert as well, and then help in any way that I can. I'm in Oklahoma, if you didn't know that, so I'm unfortunately far away to come and physically help. But by golly, if you guys need that, I'll be there. But I do know you probably have a lot of resources there for that. So with that being said, hang in there. You guys will get past this. You know it. Robert of Philadelphia Salons has been around for so long, as you all know. And these kind of things just make you stronger. You all are strong as oak, as they would say here in Oklahoma, having survived the pandemic. So you're going to be strong as steel, I guess, getting through all of this. So here's to a speedy recovery in every regard. I know Robert said that there was a few that maybe had physical loss of their house or all their belongings. So all my best to you on that, and your families, and those that are affected in general. Anywhere in any natural disaster, my heart goes out to you. So with that being said, Robert, I don't know that I could end a video without saying what I'm getting ready to say. I don't know if it's really applicable in this kind of video. So here's how I'll end it. Thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. I just have to always say that. But don't you ever forget, you've never met a family like those that are a part of Robert of Philadelphia Salons. All right, all my best, and God bless.